Jesus Christ. Hello everyone, my name is Patricia. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this channel yet, as you can probably tell. It's a little bit of everything so far, and I think that's what it's going to continue to be. So people who know me will know that I am a major Harry Potter fan. I mean, I have all the books in both Danish and in English. I'm from Denmark, by the way, if you did not know. Or except the 7th one, but that's a story for another time. And when I found out that Harry Potter and the Cursed Child was a thing, and it was actually official, at first I thought it was just a hoax, that it wasn't going to be real. When I found out that that was a real thing, I got so excited, but then I was like, but I can't afford to go see a play in London. I can't afford to travel just for that, as much as I wish I could. And then when they said that they were going to release a book, one called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, parts 1 and 2, I got so excited. And it took me until very recently to understand that it was going to be the script written into a book. It actually made me pretty excited because I don't own any books like that. I don't own a book that is in reality a script. So I'm a major Harry Potter nerd, so my little Harry Potter heart got so excited when I realized that I could get this. At first I was like, you know what, I can wait a few days after it comes out to read it. And then there was a Snapchat story about it, everybody started talking about it, and I just wanted to read it so bad. And then the day that it finally came in the mail, I almost cried when I opened it because I got so excited. And I started reading it right away, even though I actually didn't have time to sit down and read. I did. I think I completely forgot to mention that. The purpose of this video is to review the book, but without including spoilers, because I'm such a huge Harry Potter fan. I know how sad I would be if I was watching a video and all of a sudden there would be spoilers about a book that I desperately want to read. For people who don't want to read it, maybe because they want to see the play, or because they don't have the book yet, or they're waiting, and for whatever reasons, I didn't want to spoil it. As mentioned earlier, one thing you do have to take into consideration when reading this is that it's written as a script, meaning every act and scene it has where it takes place, and then there's sometimes some text explaining what's going on, what you would normally have in a book as like the extra part that makes you understand the situation better. That's included too. And then every character's name will be like here, and then what they're saying underneath. I did have to get used to that because you kind of forget along the way, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, it doesn't make sense that character is saying that, and then all of a sudden it makes sense because you have to reread it again, and you're happy that you didn't misunderstand anything completely. The story is written by, from what I can understand, it's written by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany, and Jack Thorne. And then it says a new play by Jack Thorne. So they all created the story together, and then it's also a play, of course. So let's start where the book starts. The book starts, well, as it says in the back, 19 years later. So where the last Harry Potter book, the 7th Harry Potter book, ends is where this one starts. And then from there on it kind of jumps a little bit around in time. So you have some moment, like you kind of experience very brief moments here and there, which also takes a bit of getting used to because you kind of hope to follow the story a little bit more. But again, it is just one book. You do kind of wish that you could follow more in detail several years throughout the story, but it is 320 pages. How much can you squeeze into that? And it is just one play. You can't really play out every entire year like in the series. But I think nonetheless they did a very good job with including what needs to be included. Sometimes you wish you could have more details, but again, it is supposed to be just one play, as far as I know. So I can understand why they did it the way they did. The storyline is very brief. Without having a spoiler, you follow Albus Severus Potter, obviously Harry Potter's son. You kind of follow him when he starts school. It starts when he's going to Hogwarts for the first time, and how he meets Scorpius Malfoy, Draco Malfoy's son, and how they start becoming friends. And yeah, that's kind of what the story is based around, their friendship is kind of it, and then there's a whole big plot around it that I won't get into because that will most definitely spoil the story for you. It's based around their friendship, and I cannot tell you, like, I used to love, in general, when I was little, I preferred Harry, Ron, and Hermione, the golden trio, if you want to say so. And then later on, I kind of realized, okay, but Fred and George are really cool too. And then when I started watching the movies again more recently, it hit me how much I loved the character Neville. None of the girls, apparently. I mean, I love a lot of the characters. Like, I can't pick one favorite, I think. But now I can when it comes to, like, the books that I own. And my all-time favorite is, without a doubt, Scorpius Malfoy. He is such a fun character. I love his character. He's a little bit sassy. He's very smart. But not just book smart, like in different ways. And he's very sarcastic, and I love that in a character because a lot of characters are sarcastic, but he just has something extra added to it. If you also love Scorpius, comment down below what you love about him, but those are some of the things that I love about him. I'm really happy that you get to know him so much better in this book. I really loved the characters, the way it's built. Something that I have to add to this video is that there are points in the plot and in the storyline where it feels more like you're reading a fan fiction. Now, that's not meant in a negative way, because fan fictions can be very, very good and very well written. This is very well written. But there are just some times where you can tell that she wasn't the only one writing this. You can tell that it's not exactly like the other stories. But again, it's not meant as a negative thing, that it's written kind of like a fan fiction, because it works. So when I was done with the book, I actually wanted to read it again. I kind of wanted to get back into the Harry Potter world, so it meant that it had done its job. I still felt like I was reading a story about Harry Potter and that whole world that I wish I could be a part of. What I did dislike, which is one of the smallest things, is that first of all, I've just watched all the movies and read all the books, so that means that my memory is pretty up to date with everything that goes on in the story. And there were parts where they add scenes in from the other books where I was just like, they don't say that. They don't say what they're saying in this book. The different lines that the characters have are not the same, but that was basically just my perfectionist mind that got a little bit annoyed with that. So it's not a big thing. Otherwise, I think I just got a little bit weirded out by the story, but I did enjoy it a lot. So that's kind of a mix between dislike and like. But one thing I will say is that this book made me want to see the play so bad for many reasons. Not only because it's Harry Potter, but also because there are some scenes where I can't imagine what they would do on stage to recreate that. Like, there's a centaur and there's Polyjuice potion, some of the spells they do, and despite it not being the actors from the movies that you're so used to seeing being all the characters, I still really wish I could see it, just to see how they are and if they managed to get me into the story the same way that the movie actors did. Overall, in my little review, I really enjoyed the book. I really enjoyed it. It did its job. I got into the story. I felt like I was a part of the Harry Potter world. Although the plot was very different to what I was expecting, it wasn't bad at all. I really still liked it. I'm really happy with it, and I can definitely recommend this to anyone who's a fan. Some people might not like it. I did. I'm very, very, very picky with books, so I think that that's one good selling point. Obviously, you might not know me very well, but for people who do know me, know that that is probably the best selling point. If I enjoyed it, then you should probably check it out. You might not enjoy it, I don't know, but if you did, leave a comment below. If you didn't, leave a comment below. Try not to spoil anything. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll check out the book if you haven't already. I hope you'll like and subscribe, maybe, to see more videos in the future. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. You can help give me ideas in the comments as well. And hopefully I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.